Hello everyone, welcome to my stop on the Lawn Fawn Fans Summer YouTube Hop for 2022. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steph Williams. I'm a paper crafter and card maker in Queensland, Australia. Today I have this adorable platform pop-up project to share with you. It's Little Mermaid themed and it's got a little window down the bottom for a bit more extra detail. As always, this hop is sponsored, and today we have two sponsors, Crescent Creation and Not Too Shabby. Each of these amazing stores stock Lawn Fawn, and they are each giving away a $25 gift voucher. I'll tell you more on that soon. My main inspiration for this card is obviously The Little Mermaid. It's my favourite Disney movie, but also this snow globe that my mum has had since I was little. It is my favourite out of her collection, not just because it's The Little Mermaid, she's got a couple of them, but because Ariel is at the top in her own bubble, and then down the bottom is this secret treasure trove full of adorable things. And as a kid, it was something that I used to look at, and every time you looked at it, you'd find a new detail, and there was always something else to discover. So I thought I would try to recreate that today with a platform pop-up card. I've seen a couple of people do this with the little window. It wasn't too tricky, but I was really excited to give it a go. So as you would have seen by now, I have stamped out my images. I have used lots of little sea creatures today from a lot of stamp sets. I often have people comment on how many stamp sets I use per project, but I've got a lot, so I'm gonna mix and match them. And then it just justifies having more Lawn Fawn sets. So anyway, I am colouring in now. I'm sticking to, I guess, a very simple colour scheme. A lot of this card is going to be blues and teals, as it's going to be the ocean and the sky. But I tried to add some pops of colour with these little images. I'm using a mix of Copic markers and my regular alcohol ink markers. And while I'm here, I thought I would tell you about how you can enter the draw for our hop. So we do 4 of these per year, one for every major Lawn Fawn release. All you have to do to enter is leave a comment below. It helps to let us know where you are from, so that if you are a winner, we can match you with someone who ships to your area, but commenting anything will get you into the draw. So say hi to me. I really do try to get back to all the comments on the hop videos, as I often see lots of new names that I want to say hi to. And of course my regulars too, who have probably been waiting for a new video from me for a little while. You can enter this giveaway multiple times. All you have to do is hop along to all of the stops and leave a comment for all of the creators. This group is ridiculously talented. I love working with these crafty people from all over the world. So make sure you take the time to go and have a look at everything they've made. It will be amazing. So now we are moving on to inking up the inside of the platform pop-up. So this was a little bit tricky. I had to fold it a few times and get my head around where all the placement had to be. But this is going to be on the inside. So I've cut the window using the stitched rectangle that would be great for sentiments on the outside, but I've used it to cut the window. I did try to cut it fairly low so that I wouldn't have to interfere with the adhesives at the top where I have to attach the flaps so that the whole thing can close. If I could, I would probably cut this rectangle just a little bit smaller so that things worked a bit better. I'm sure I have a Lawn Fawn die somewhere for that. But as you could see, I did the sand and the ocean, and now I've flipped it over to just ink up my whole thing in teal. I've got some peacock feathers ink here. I'm just roughly going over all of the white. On both of my platform pop-up pieces, I'm also running some of this peacock feathers inked along the top, because if you've ever made one of these, it does have a bit of a lip around the edge, and I didn't want it to be stark white. I don't have any wave stencils. I can't even remember if Lawn Fawn do have wave stencils. I have a lot of them, but I know I don't have waves, so I'm just using my cloud stencil upside down and just hoping for the best. Once everything is inked up, I'm then going to add some splatters, because this is one of my favourite ways to add detail and texture that's really quick and easy. So here I am just watering down some of my Salty Ocean Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to sprinkle that over the top. I do the same with the peacock feathers, and in a moment I'm going to do it with my favourite watercolour pigments in white gold. That's where all the sparkle and shine comes in. I couldn't help but add some splatters to the inside of my card too, so I'm using some white acrylic paint to do some little flecks for the ocean and the sandy floor. So as you can see here, the flap that adheres this whole little piece together, it's too long and it's visible in my window. So I'm just doing some markings and I'm going to trim it down. I probably could have trimmed it down a little more. You do see a bit later that once I'm folding it, it doesn't quite sit flat, and so I do have to move it, and it is just a little bit visible. But this is a tutorial, right? So if you decide to make it at some point, just do better than me and then tag me in it so I can see. I'm using a scrappy piece of acetate here, and I'm going to cut it to size so that it fits to enclose my little window. I guess this step might not actually be necessary. You could leave it open if you wanted to, but I just felt better about having it all sealed up. Before I go sealing off this little section and building the pieces for my platform pop-up base, I actually need to make sure everything is glued on the inside here, as this won't be accessible soon. So I'm adding all the coral, the rocks, the little statue that I hope looked like Prince Eric's statue that fell off the ship into the ocean, a couple of little fishies and some little treasures. And that's what it's going to look like when it's all closed up. Here I am, very roughly, adding the white teas to my platform base so that I can prop up some waves here and Ariel very soon. For this last little white tea, I actually trimmed it down almost completely so that it's just going to slip into the top of this little section and not be seen through the window. Had I known how this would fold up in the end, I would have inked up that space as well just to make it all blend in, because when you do fold the card, you can see that white area. It's just something that I learned along the way. Here I get very frustrated with myself because I tried to stick the flaps down on the side, and there is just something about this platform pop-up base that I stick my adhesive on the wrong side when I go to fold it all up together. You'll see what I mean in a second. I managed to do it twice in a row. I am just very talented like that. Thankfully for me, I decided to use this tape runner, which is a semi-permanent adhesive until, there's me having my hissy fit, until it has a long time to set. So I could just roll it off with my fingers and then it was gone. But it was just very frustrating that I did it twice. This is what I mean by that area not really being accessible. I decided to add another fish and it was like performing some kind of surgery. But I'm glad I did it in the end. For my waves, I used some white cardstock and my stitched wave dies, and I've trimmed them down so that they're going to fit nicely on the little white tees. I'm using some peacock feathers, Distress Oxide ink again, and I'm going to be splattering these just so that it matches everything else. I decided to add a background to this today. I love that you can decide not to do this with the platform pop-up, or you can add this. So I'm doing just a blue sky, and I'm going to add a sentiment onto this because I'd already cut out the window at the front. I didn't know where I was going to stick a sentiment. So that is where it'll be today. Here I am assembling all of my little scenes. So I've got this crab. I know he doesn't look anything like Sebastian, but I think this stamp is just really cute. So he's going to be on the wave at the back. I've got my little flounder at the front. And then Ariel is going to be sitting in the middle on her rock. I didn't know what theme would work well for this card, so I'm going with a simple sentiment that says, "You make me smile." I thought that was really sweet. after adding a few final details, this platform pop-up card is complete. I hope you love it, and I hope that you'll hop along to the next stop. The link will be in the description below, right at the top, so make sure you click it and hop along and comment on everyone's stop so that you can have multiple entries into our giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.